live on Twitch. It's Blobby_Butler kick. Where you need to put a dash instead of underscore. Underscore. Blobby Butler on kick. You need to follow us on Kick, folks. If you're not following already on Kick, please do that. As well on the DRS UK, DRS Twitch, but I know the Racing League UK is bringing you all of the action. Will it be his day to secure the title in the Pro-Am? Not to get that injured, might have something to say about that. And locked on the line tonight, folks. So, as always, drop us a message in the chat. Cam cheering on side. So counted in then to short quality. Cam's not looking forward to tonight's race. Is that because you don't like Canada, or because you've had no luck so far, or for another reason? That's okay. So just 16 of them today.
Canada is my weakest track, lol.
Ah, see, the championship leader VDV also said that Canada was his weakest track. So could be some Wall of Champions action tonight. As we see a couple coming out into the pit lane. There goes a McLaren out first, I think. And that is Ninjas. Still in contention for the Pro-Am title. I will bring you all the standings in between. Good evening to Bazza in the chat. In between qualifying and the race, I will bring you all of the standings. Get your bang up to date as we head into the final two races next week at Suzuka, the final race of this championship. Then we have a break for Easter Monday, and the new season begins on April the 8th. And if you want to get involved, now is the time. Drop a message in the chat and we will get you in touch with whoever you need. To get signed up.
Here to help you find the one with keyless entry. Auto Trader, Britain's biggest matchmaker.
Let's go, Spike. Roll. Here's a treat. Fetch. Sit.
Pets are like bank accounts. You should find the right one for you.
Do something, please.
Maybe it's time to switch with the current account switch service.
Want tickets for tonight? Message now.
Enter your details to reschedule your delivery.
Amazing holiday offer.
Your bank account has been compromised, and I need a few personal details.
Fraud is getting more sophisticated. Stay ahead of scams at gov.uk/stopthinkfraud.
Ninja's turning the sections purple, as he would do with the first lap. Let's see, now here he comes up to the line, and it's a 1:11.1 for Ninjas. And Easy Life beats that with a 1:10.4. Good opening lap for Easy Life. Let's see who else is coming up towards the line. Looks like Joker. No, it's 50, ending his outlap. Syme. There he is, 1:09.4 for Syme. Max World also on his way round. And Max beats it with a 1:09.2. Here's Brad, I think. And Brad does a 1:09.4 just behind Syme. Smug goes over 1:10.9. Senna 1:13. And Spoonie's been disqualified. Spoonie's been disqualified for going the wrong way. He looks like he's beached it, but he's been disqualified. And there is a strange incident. Joker 1:10.3. Ninjas went over a 1:09.7, improving his time. The Ferraris both 1:10.6s at the moment. They'll hope for better than that. 50 Gent in a 1:10.9 ahead of Smug. Sloth's on his outlap. The AlphaTauris haven't come out yet. That's Al Newt and Swanton, and neither has Skippy. Senna 1:09.5. He did a swanton, as I call it, the double outlap, I think, and really gave it the beans on that one, and he's up to P4. Sloth is on his hot lap. And purple through sector 2 for Sloth. So this could be a good time for the title chaser in the Pro-Am. Almost call him champion-elect. So 1:10.2, and that is P7. But still behind Ninjas. Max World, provisional pole at the moment, and look at that, Mr. Pickle is now up to P2 with a 1:09.3. Then it's Syme and Brad, and now the AlphaTauris are on their way. With no offence meant to Al Newt at all eyes on Swanton. Now, is he on a double outlap, or is this going to be the hot lap attempt? Only one way to find out. Let's go with him. As Smug improves ahead of his teammate with 1:10.1. Brad's on his way out for another go, as is Syme. Swanton on his opener. Hello to everyone joining us on Twitch and Kick this evening for the penultimate race of the season here in DRS. The title race still ongoing, and this man is at the head of it. What's he going to do here? He's going to do his usual. This will now be his hot lap. So 1:11.9 for Swanton. Ignore that. This one will certainly be a couple of seconds quicker. At least. So let's stay with the AlphaTauri. Al Newt and Skippy also yet to set times. There goes Skippy with a 1:11.5. I actually missed. Well, and Syme goes fastest. 1:09.0 for Syme. Actually missed Swanton's sector 1 time. Well, look at that, 2.5 seconds. So that puts him on pace for the top 4. We can eke out a bit more. DRS open, round the last bend, and up the straight. And Swanton does a 1:09.4, and that's P5 for the championship leader. Al Newt, his teammate, did a 1:11.0, and that is P14 at the moment. Just 16 in this evening, and one has been disqualified for going the wrong way, apparently. Spoonie, the unfortunate party there, as Skippy improves with a 1:09.8 up to P9. Sloth has also improved, 1:09.4 for him and P6. Still 8 minutes remaining, so plenty of time. Is anyone going to break the 1:09 barrier? I think they will. Brad's now second with a 1:09.1. The top 10 all in the 1:09s. Here is Senna. And Senna goes to P4 with a 1:09.2. Good lap from him. Al Newt is up into the top 10 with a 1:09.5. Ahead of Ninjas, who is a couple of tenths down on his time. I think Skippy is coming back to the pits. Here goes Smug to start another lap. Joker's out there as well. Just a little calm period before they get ready for their final runs. Smug slightly up on his time, but needs more. Can he break 1:10 and break into the top 10? Maxwell on his outlap for another attempt, as is Easy Life. I missed Smug sector 2 time there. Looking at who else was on track. So we'll just have to see what happens here. Smug then up towards the line. Does break the 1:09 barrier, but does into the 1:09s. Does break the 1:10 barrier, but does not break into the top 10. He stays in P12. The top 12 now, all in the 1:09s. Joker has gone up to 5th on the 1:09.3. I'm looking for a tissue. Apologies. Cannot seem to shake the sniffle just lately. Let's go and see Easy Life. Oh, he's having a bit of a warm-up lap. That looks a bit. Doing the tyres. Who else is out there? Max World. Let's go and see Max. He's up on his time. Purple Sector 1. Purple Sector 1 for Max. Could this be the lap to break the 109 barrier? He's 2 tenths up. Nearly 3 tenths up. This could well be it. Bit of curb on the last corner. Has it cost him any time? Up towards the line. Max World does break the 109. Provisional pole for him with a 108.8. Beat that, folks. Swanton is on his way round again. Some menthol in the nostrils. Swanton, he's doing his usual. He's having another warm-up lap. He's 4 tenths down on this one. Al Newt just beginning another lap here as the Aston Martin kindly gets out of his way. That must be Senna, as we've only got one today. Let's see Al's time as he comes up to the end of Sector 2. He's 2 seconds down, so we'll leave him. Ninjas is on his way for another go. He's currently P10. We will come back eventually to Swanton. Well, let's see how Ninjas does through Sector 1 first. Maxwell thinks he's done enough. Maxwell has decided he's not coming back out. He thinks he's done enough. And he has retired from the session. Still with 2.5 minutes left. And you can see they're bunching now on their outlaps. Very much so. Ninjas, however, is tearing time off. He's half a second up. What a lap this could be for the McLaren. With Max already on pole at the moment. Here comes Ninjas to the line. 109.0, it's P2. P2 for Ninjas. What a lap. Is that going to hold? Who knows? But what a lap that is. And now the pressure is on Sloth down in P9. Swanton not improving at the moment. 109.2 for him and P5. Where is Syme? Let's see. Syme is on his way. As the checkered flag comes out, we'll try and get everyone going over the line. Syme to the end of Sector 2 is well over his time on this occasion, so he's on his way round to maybe get another attempt in. We've got a minute to go. So who is making it round? Are the Aston Martins? Sloth is now starting out. Now Newt has picked up a 5-place grid penalty. And that's going to put him right to the rear. It may have been blocked. He may have blocked his teammate Swanton, but it looked like they were both on their way back in. Brad, a couple of attempts up. 20 seconds remaining. He might get round to get another one in. He might not want to be doing another one because this could be it for him. And Brad goes pole! 1087! 1087 for Brad. Smug and Sloth both get over the line to start another go. This is Syme. He's now up on his time. Is Syme going to get onto the front row? Yes, he is! 1087 beats Brad. Here comes Joker. Nope, that's 50 Gent. Apologies, he's going into the pits anyway. Joker was well down on his time. The Ferrari still going, that's Levi. He's well down as well. Sloth slightly down on his time. He's going to need a big sector 3 but to climb himself. Brad's cruising round. So I think it is just this lap for Sloth. Here he comes. And does improve slightly to P7. Ahead of Joker. So there you have it for qualifying, folks. What a session that was. The top 10 all within a second. But Syme takes the pole from Brad. Maxwell thought he'd done enough, but he hadn't. He's alongside his teammate. What a qualifying lap that is from Ninjas in P4. Ahead of the championship leader Swanton in P5. Then Senna in 6. Sloth in 7 has work to do if he is to secure the Pro-Am title this evening. Joker, Mr. Pickle and Al Newt rounding off the top 10, but Al Newt will not, unfortunately. He will drop and Smug will take 10th because Al Newt picked up a 5-place grid penalty. Smug, Skippy, Levi, Easy Life. And 50 Gent rounding them off as Spoonie DQ'd. What a racing prospect. Get your predictions, who you're cheering on in the chat, folks. 16 will start. How many will finish? Will we have a safety car? And if so, how many? And any other things you want to predict during the race, get them in. They only count if you get them in before they start. And now we're going to find the standings. We will start with that Pro-Am. And it is Sloth. 36 points ahead of Ninjas with 50 Gent. Sainsy, Al Newt and King Kong all also over 100 points, but not really in the race. King Kong missing out because he's missed too many races, including today. The Pro sees a 9-point lead for Swanton over Syme, with Brad a further 15 back, and Maxwell too far back now, 40 behind Brad. Then a big battle for 5th between Senna, Colin, Mr. Pickle and Joker. In terms of the teams, it's AlphaTauri that lead McLaren. Then Williams and Haas also in the race. Alfa Romeo going to need a big couple of results if they are going to claim the crown. There you go. You are bang up to date. 2 races remain. This one and Suzuka next week. Swanton at a bit of a disadvantage today, starting in P5 with Syme and Brad on the front row. Let's see what is going to happen. Just a note, the drivers are told not to ready up until instructed. And that carries rather heavy penalty, as Max World found out. He received a 30-second penalty, which eliminated a victory for him. Falling foul of that particular rule. As always, we'll go through the tyre choices on the formation lap. And bring you all the action we can from this 36-lap race. Of course, F1 24 is coming. So DRS Season 8 will be the final one on F1 23. Similarly, Blobby Mondays finishes just after the release of F1 24 in June. So we'll be looking to go another championship on the new game. Big statement possible for McLaren. 3 and 4 at the moment on the grid. They're still right in the constructors' battle. Ninjas, what an impressive qualifying session. Just receiving a message from another driver. Here we go on the formation lap. And a nice mix of tyre selections. Hello to Madness once again. A nice mix of tyre selections. With Syme picking the mediums. He is an absolute maestro of tyre management. Brad is on the hards in P2 for Haas. Difference of opinion at McLaren with Maxwell going on the hard and Ninjas on the medium.
Come on.
At least they won't be tripping over each other in the pit stops. Swanton on the mediums. Championship leader. Senna then the first of the soft runners. Maybe hoping for an early safety car. Maybe hoping to be very racy off the line. Sloth, Joker, Mr. Pickle and Smug round off the top 10, all on mediums. Then it's Skippy on hards. Levi on mediums. Easy Life is on the softs. 50 Gent is on the hards. Our Newt on the mediums. Suffering that 5 place penalty down in 15th place. And Spoony rounds them in. He's on softs for Red Bull. "36 laps then in progress." Just send a quick message. Here we go then. Senna disqualified for parking. Is it going to give me this awful view of the start? Yes, it is. So I'm going to go on board with Brad in second. 5 lights. Out they go. Away they go. Simon gets away well. And into turn 1 well. The McLaren Swanton already getting past Ninjas into P4. And off at the back is Smug. Smug is off at the back. It's a bad start for Smug. Ninjas is getting swallowed up a little bit here. And he's been passed by Mr. Pickle and now Senna. So Ninja's dropping down to P7 after his excellent qualifying work. And now he's just 1 in front of his title rival Sloth. Joker P9 from Skippy, then Levi. Easy Life Al Newt. Spoony, 50 Gent must have got caught up in that incident with Smug maybe, because he's now dropped to 15th and Smug is at the back. Syme leads them then. Max and Swanton trying to get to the back of Brad. Senna trying to go for Mr. Pickle around the outside. Bold move by him. Mr. Pickle will try and defend and contact and off they go and into the wall and Senna's out of the race. 50 Gent's got a penalty for speeding in the pit lane. We've got a virtual safety car which I'm sure will probably be upgraded to a full safety car. Senna is out of the race. And it's the 2nd week running for him that his race has not lasted very long. And Al Newt now picks up a 5-second penalty for ignoring yellow flags. Mr. Pickle's now overtaken him and he's got to give that place back. We're still virtual safety car only. The safety car has not come out onto the track. I wonder if this will signal a raft of early pit stops. It is still just a virtual safety car. We are now racing again. So it did not last long, the VSC. And we are back again. Up to racing speed and Spoony passes Mr. Pickle, who of course has that broken front wing from the incident with Senna. DRS now enabled as we begin lap 3. Senna unfortunate there for 2 weeks in a row. His race lasting not more than a lap and a half on both occasions. I'm sure that one will find its way into the steward's room. We do have an excellent stewarding team here in DRS. So much so that I've hired a couple to take over the stewarding for Blobby Monday as well. I say hired. What I mean is they're doing me a favour. So thanks to Swanton and Senna for that. Speaking of Swanton, he is currently in P4. Trying to cling to the back of Max World, who's chasing Brad. There's a bit of a gap then to Joker.
A little story is easy to share. We can meet pink unicorns, pirates and bears. We can even be pilots, fly to faraway places. The magic is waiting, so let's open the pages.
A little story could make a big difference, but 1 in 5 children say they don't own a book. So we've provided over 160 million books since 2013, and we won't stop there. McDonald's. Change a little, change a lot. 19.2% of respondents from a survey of 6,896 children aged 5 to 8, National Literacy Trust 2023.
It's a full safety car. Ninjas is out. And I think that is going to secure Sloth as the Pro-Am champion. It's certainly not the way he would want to have clinched the title. He's broken his front wing. But I believe with Ninja's DNF there, that Sloth is the Pro-Am champion.
Syme needs to finish ahead of Swanton to win the title. Axe can do one rolling on the floor laughing. Got turbo on here, so don't get en low.
Good evening to Grace in the chat on Kick, and as well saying about the ads. Yep, sorry about that. And Cam, Syme needs to finish ahead of Swanton to win the title. Well, we'll see. It goes to next week. Max is in the pits, and he was on hards. So this is an interesting one. Who else is going for a pit stop? Easy Life is going for a pit stop. Max surely looking at a 2-stopper. Easy Life the same as he goes to mediums. Spoonie's in. And Spoonie's going for the hard. So potentially Spoonie could go to the end. Unbelievable, 2 incidents on the same corner, just at the end of the first corner into the second, and Ninjas and Senna out of the race.
Biggity squinting face with tongue.
Yes, as usual, Grace is finding innuendo in anything, so that actually quite got me, that one. So let's take a minute to
English 2004 low.
Let's get the order now as they settle behind the safety car. Syme leads. Brad is second. Swanton is third. There's a real pattern here, folks. The top 3 in the championship are at the front. Joker is 4th. Skippy is up to 5th. Great stuff for him at the moment. And for the Haas team, Levi is in 6th. Sloth is into the pit lane. As you saw, he broke his front wing. So Max is 7th after his pit stop. Al Nukes is 8th, but has a penalty. Smug is 9th. Easy Life is 10th. 50 Gent is now up to P11. Spoonie goes round into P12. Is Mr. Pickle going to get through past Sloth? It looks like he is. Yes, indeed. And Sloth comes out on the soft tyres at the rear of the field. So yes, folks, get me to 75 followers on Kick, and I promise no more Twitch ads. As soon as I can get a subscriber on Kick, no more Twitch ads. I'll switch them off. At the moment we're sitting on about 29 or 30, so quite a way to go. But yeah, we are officially a pro streamer, as we received our first payout from Twitch this week. It's been a long time coming, and I mean, 65 quid, not a huge amount, but it's a milestone and I'm quite happy about it. So there you go. Next goal, 75 on Kick, get subscribers on Kick, and then turn the Twitch ads off. Here we go, safety car is going back into the pits. Brad is trailing behind Smug, behind Syme, quite closely there. And he might have got a run on him here. He might have got a run on Syme here. And he's going to try and go around the outside. Now let's hope these two can stay off each other's wheels for contact, as we saw previously. Indeed they can, and Syme does manage to stay ahead. Max World making the move on Skippy for P5. Mr. Pickle also making a move on Spoonie. And now Max is going for Joker. Mr. Pickles made another move past 50 Gent. He's had a good restart.
What track is it for you later? Just in case I'm into reservers have messaged, so wanna get a few laps in just in case.
It is Canada later on, Grace. And yes, you can reserve. We've got 3 reserve spots at the moment. I see there was a new fella in Baker's asking, so maybe he can come in as well. Look at this at the back. Sloth trying to get by Spoonie. Easy Life and 50 Gent all there as well. Max still trying to get by Joker. Can he do it this time? Gets round the outside. And Max Wild back up to P4. Swanton close to Brad, who's now dropped away from Syme. Mr. Pickles cutting through the field. He's up to P10 and he's now on the tail of Smug. Yeah, it is Montreal this evening. And we do have some reserve spots. 3 available at the moment. I will check messages once I'm done here. As Mr. Pickle tries to get by Smug. Easy Life 50 Gent and Sloth. All going at it into turn 1. And 50 Gent loses out there. Max has now closed up to Swanton and Brad. He's shown incredible pace since his pit stop. And he's really applying the pressure now to Swanton. Mr. Pickle still can't get by Smug. And Levi got close to the back of Skippy there. Max is going to have another go down the straight. And so is Swanton, because Brad's dropped out of DRS range and Swanton goes up to P2. Al Newt made a move on Skippy as well. In fact, Al Newt's off. Off goes Al Newt. And he lost 3 or 4 places there, the AlphaTauri. I think it was passed by Levi initially and then was in there with Skippy. And Max now passing Brad. Max now passing Brad for P3. Action everywhere you look since the safety car restart. And Levi's out! Levi's out of the race! What has happened there? Levi is out and we've got another safety car. And apologies, folks, I didn't see that one at all. Simon will be cursing his luck, having gapped the battling three behind by a couple of seconds. But now is it time for free pit stop and hard tyres to the end. Simon pits. No, he doesn't. Simon went to pit and then didn't. Swanton, Brad, Smug and Mr. Pickle all pit. Simon, Max, Joker, Skippy and Easy Life and Spoonie stay out. Everybody else has pit. So Al Newt, Sloth and 50 Gent all in the pit. Sloth might get caught out here with a double stack. May have just missed whether he lost any time. He comes back out in P11 anyway. Ahead of Al Newt and 50 Gent. Max then up to second. Syme staying out. Swanton's gone for soft tyres. Swanton gambling on another safety car, clearly. Brad has gone to mediums, which will need some work to get to the end. Smug should be comfortably getting to the end on those hards with 25 laps remaining, minus a couple under safety car, of course, to ease the wear. I'm sure we've had 20 lap stints on mediums here at Zandvoort before. So a thrilling development here with another safety car. Not so thrilling for poor Levi, who's out of the race. Senna just saying in the chat he got taken out by Mr. Pickle. And Ninja's got taken out by Sloth. I did see both of those on this corner here, that the safety car is coming round now. I did see both of those incidents. Though, of course, I will leave any judgment to the stewards. Certainly not the way Sloth would have liked to win the championship. But I believe Ninja's DNF does secure that for Sloth, as he had a lead of 36 points. All roads lead to Suzuka, remember. Japan next week, 8 PM. Next Monday, the championship finale. Safety car is in this lap. Syme will want a better restart than last time, as he almost got caught on the hop by Brad, who after pitting is now down in P8 behind Swanton. Syme will want to time his burst away a bit better this time. Max, of course, on slightly younger tyres. Could that pay dividends for him? Of course, Syme the master of tyre management. There he goes. And he got a decent break this time. Max trying to get a slipstream. And he's very close, Max. 50 Gent passes Al Newt at the back. He's trying to go up the inside. He's Max. It turns into the outside. Al Newt's been disconnected. I'll try and get him back in a second. Maxwell takes the lead of the race. Brad has passed Spoonie. as has Swanton. And now Brad is going to get past Swanton as well. But Brad gets by Easy Life. Swanton's going to try and follow him through. It's shaken up the order, of course, this safety car. And Mr. Pickle's going to try and follow both of them through as well. Easy Life being swallowed up a little bit. I will just pause for a second to try and get our Newt back in, if he's on my friends list. There he is. So I've sent him another invite. Maxwell sets the fastest lap of the race after taking the lead. Smug and Sloth both passing Spoony there. These two very closely matched teammates, unlike Brad and Skippy. Brad will want Skippy to do him a favour now. And back Swanton up a bit of maybe contact there. And Swanton's lost a bit of his front wing. And Swanton drops to the rear of the field. And this could blow the title race wide open. Mr. Pickle passes Skippy. And off is Brad. Brad's off. Brad is off and Joker as well. Brad and Joker have gone off. DRS now enabled. And an absolutely crazy couple of laps sees Swanton limping into the pits. Maxwell is in the lead from Syme. Mr. Pickle's up to third. Skippy now fourth. Easy Life is fifth. And suddenly, as I was saying about the evenly matched Alfa Romeos, are now 6 and 7. Smug and Sloth. Our Newt back in. Hopefully he can get back in his car. I mean, not lost too much time. Spoony P8 from Brad and Joker, who came to contact there. Joker ahead of his teammate 50 Gent. And the Alpha Tauris at the back. So Smug closing in on Easy Life. Bit of a queue forming behind Easy Life here. Of course, yet to pit the Williams. Still in the title race as well are the Williams. There goes Smug past. And Sloth's going to try and make it a double. And does make it a double. Easy Life going to try and dive up the inside. Oh, contact! And Easy Life is round. And Spoony, I think Easy Life's lost out big time there. It was an audacious dive. And I think that was a little bit impatient. Smug now closing in on Skippy. If Smug can go to the end here, he could well be on for a podium. Senna's left us. Certainly no tactical play involved though, Mr. Senna. From Sloth. That would go down as a very libelous accusation, I think. Mr. Pickle is flying. And he's past Syme. Mr. Pickle's up to P2 as he set the fastest lap of the race. Smug now into P4 ahead of Skippy. Smug can possibly go to the end on these hard tyres and he could be on for a podium if he does so. Maxwell leads Mr. Pickle now second. Swanton will be pleased to see Syme and Brad in 3 and 7 after his own problems this race. Max's title charge has left it too little too late, but he at the moment seems to be the top driver on the grid. He leads Sloth and Brad now catching Skippy. Brad maybe needs some more favours from Skippy to defend against others and not against him. Spoonie keeping up well with them. He's in P8 on the hard tyres. And there goes Sloth up into P5. Brad's, yes. There you see Skippy just move out of the way for his teammate. Smart. Very smart driving from the Haas boys. Skippy knows that Brad is in a completely different fight to him. And moves aside and lets his teammate up the road and into P6. Alfa Romeo, I was saying they need a charge for the to get involved in the constructors, and at the moment they're kind of getting it. They're 4 and 5. Spoonie, the next one to try and catch Skippy. The Mercedes are into the top 10 now, with Joker in 9 and 50 Gent in 10. Action-packed race, and we're only halfway through. My drink's empty, but I've got another one. Brad now closing in on Sloth and passing him down the straight quite comfortably. And Spoonie makes the move in the same place on Skippy. So that's Brad to P5, Spoonie to P7. 50 Gent closing in on his teammate. They've been close together since Joker had that incident with Brad. Brad's not being left alone here by Sloth. Skippy trying to stick with Spoonie and not fall back to the Mercedes. Max's gap now is only a second. Mr. Pickle continues to fly, and he's now within a second of the leader as Syme comes into the pit lane. Into the pits comes Syme. Smug will go up to P3. Brad to P4. Sloth to P5. Spoonie to P6. Joker to P7 as Skippy's also in the pits. 50 is now in P8. Al Newt goes to P9. And Syme is going to come out in P10. And on soft tyres till the end, he'll look to be racing out to the end. Easy Life, his teammate behind him in P11 ahead of Skippy, who's gone for the mediums to the end. And Swanton remains last. Good evening, Adkins, in the chat. You've joined us during an absolute thriller. Mr. Pickle has now caught Max World at the front. Mr. Pickle showing incredible pace in the Ferrari today. Brad caught in an Alfa Romeo sandwich at the moment. Smug and Sloth. Mr. Pickle going for the lead. Mr. Pickle side by side with Max World. And Max defends it well. Brad still trying to get by Smug. Sloth looking on. Smug's having an incredible race considering he was in a spin on lap 1. Just see if he can make any inroads. Brad, he's getting close, as you can see. Is he going to go for the dive up the inside? No. He thought about it, but I think he's keeping his powder dry for the main straight. Is Mr. Pickle going to be on for a move down the straight? No, he is not. On this occasion, Brad moves to the inside and takes P3. Syme sets the fastest lap of the race. He's going to look to try and cut through the field now on the soft tyres. Joker still yet to pit. 21 laps on those mediums. Max leads Mr. Pickle by half a second. Big gap back to Brad, who's now finally got by Smug and Sloth. Spoonie having a good race from the back in P6, but has to pit. You would assume he'd have to pit. 14 more laps to go. Maybe not. Joker still on the tyres he started on in P7, and it's 50 Gent, who you'd assume would also have to pit again. And now Newt, as Skippy passes Easy Life. Oh, and almost a bit of contact. Easy Life's off there. Easy Life not having the most easy day today, as into the pits comes 50 Gent. And Joker past Spoonie there. 22 laps old his tyres, and he's still going. Syme is now up to P8. He's ahead of Al Newt. Skippy back into the top 10. 50 Gent will come out right next to Easy Life. And Easy Life, is he going to get the place? No, he isn't. 50 just gets out ahead of him. They're being caught now by Swanton, who might still fancy he can get a point out of this. And he passes Easy Life. Syme has now caught Spoonie and Joker. And on the soft tyres, this should be a bit of a breeze for him. Max World has now gapped Mr. Pickle by a second. Syme will be delighted if these two are pitting, but they're not. And Spoonie's going for the move on Joker. And Syme's going to try and follow, but he decides to stay out the back of that. Our Newt pits. And Joker went wide, and Syme said thank you very much and took P7, and he'll look to take Spoonie very quickly afterwards. On the soft tyre, nothing they can do to defend that. And through goes Syme to P6. Swanton back into the top 10. Past 50 Gent and past Al Newt, who pitted. Every point, of course, could be crucial in this title race. Sloth continues to chase Smug. He's on for another Pro-Am victory. And the title is his already. But a big statement move by Alfa Romeo. Is Max going to be able to last these tyres to the end? Spoonie into the pits. Joker somehow 24 laps and he's still going on those medium tyres. Spoonie puts the softs on to the end. And that's 50 Gent and Al Newt getting close together. And Al Newt makes the pass. Spoonie's going to come out right by the three of them. And just in front of the three of them. Easy Life's in the pits and speeding in the pits for a 5-second penalty. Spoonie has come out just ahead of Swanton. Now, is he going to have the pace on the soft tyres to repel the championship leader? Mr. Pickle back within half a second.
Estimated collision in T-minus 10. 9. 8.
Can you confirm satellite collision is imminent?
7. 6. 5.
Carrying out collision avoidance maneuver.
4. 3. 2. 1. Satellite collision averted.
It takes the whole force to protect space. Join us.
Let's go, Spike. Roll. Here's a treat. Fetch. Sit.
Pets are like bank accounts. You should find the right one for you.
Do something, please.
Maybe it's time to switch with the current account switch service.
Is going to rejoin in P11. And now he's going to need to put some work in to get back in the points. Syme now catching the Alfa Romeos. And 10 laps remain. How quick are Syme and Max going to be in the last stint? Smug has got to defend from Sloth, and Syme is going to try and take both of them. And Brad's not that far up the road either. If Syme can get by these quickly, he's got a chance for P2. Mr. Pickle seems to have it in the bag, but I don't want to curse anybody. Blobby, blobby, blobby! That is it. Here we go, the last 10 laps. Joker and Swanton scrapping now. And Joker with the fresh tyres is up to P9. He's made light work of the AlphaTauris there. Syme's still behind the Alfa Romeos, but not for long, I would wager. Bit of a bump on the curb from Syme, didn't help him there, but Sloth went wide, and Syme's gone round the outside of Sloth. Sloth starting to feel it now on the tyres. And look at Max. Max has caught the back of this battle as well now. It's Smug, Syme, Sloth and Max all going for a podium here. Spoonie is going to cruise past Skippy. And up to P7. Al Newt passing Swanton. Now surely AlphaTauri have got to get the team orders book out here, because that could be a point that costs Swanton the title. Syme, Smug, Syme, Sloth and Max all going into the corner together, and Max goes up the inside of Sloth. Smug still stoically defending, but I think his defence is going to come to an end down the straight. He's tried his best to defend. Syme goes outside and takes the place. Max tries to go as well and does. Syme and Max both passing Smug finally. Joker passes Skippy for P8. Max is trying to get Syme again. Trailing close behind. Sloth hasn't quite given up on Smug, but I think being on the mediums rather than the hards will do for him. Max having a look every which way he can to try and get past Syme. Incredible close racing between these two. I think Brad's sitting there hoping that they continue to battle so he can increase his gap. Max up the inside of Syme. And Max into P3. Sloth still no way by Smug. Al Newt could be going for Skippy. And does. Al Newt up to P9. So maybe, just maybe, the AlphaTauri plan was clear Skippy and then maybe switch afterwards. We shall see. Swanson not far behind, but he is on older tyres. The later pit stops seemingly paying dividends, apart from for Mr. Pickle and Brad at the moment, who are the front two. But Max is just a second and a half behind Brad now. He's closing in. Swanson takes Skippy for P10. That could be vital. Sloth, Smug, Mr. Pickle and Brad have now done 20 laps on those tyres. We saw Joker manage 25. That's what they're going to have to do to get to the end. But Max is closing in on Brad at a rate of knots. And surely, on these old medium tyres, Max will not be able to defend. Max right behind now. Syme's tyres seemingly have gone off as well, as he can't keep pace. Max not needing to do anything too risky. Thought about a dive up the inside there, but he'll just bide his time till the straight. And now surely is going to take the place. And up to P2 goes Max Wild round the outside of Brad. Joker trying to close in on Spoonie. Remarkable lack of penalties in this race, to everyone's credit. I'm sure Canada will hit differently later on this evening as Skippy gets back past Swanson, but Swanson fights him back as Swanson retains P10. Good scrap between those two. Joker now getting close to Spoonie. The gap for Mr. Pickle is 8 seconds from Max World. That will close, but I don't think it will close quickly enough for Max to get back to the front. Brad in P3 and Syme in P4, which Swanson will see as damage limitation as he's in P10 at the moment. Joker will have some DRS help here to try and get Spoonie. Goes to the outside and makes the move stick quite comfortably. Joker up to P7 ahead of Spoonie. Remember, Spoonie started at the back of the grid, as did Al Newt, so 8 and 9. Very decent indeed for them. The gap now down to 7 seconds, but we are on lap 33 of 36. So I think Max's charge will just fall short. I think he has got the fastest lap of the race. I'm on the wrong thing for that. Oh, Syme, in fact, has the fastest lap of the race. Brad now 2 seconds back from Max and 2 seconds ahead of Syme. Sloth's tyres have gone off quite badly as Smug has now gapped him by 2.7 seconds. It's looking like 5 and 6 for Alfa Romeo and another Pro-Am win for Sloth. Joker is next, followed by Spoonie. And then the Alpha Tauri pair of Al Newt and Swanton. Skippy now falling away from Swanton a little. I wonder if Al Newt is going to do his teammate a favour and step aside in the last couple of laps. Swanton will certainly be on the radio. Was that a raindrop I saw there? That would definitely throw an interesting spanner in the works if we had a shower now. It may well have been. Spoonie getting close to Joker. He's not giving up on that P7. There are definitely raindrops. But we've just started lap 35 of 36. The closest gap, the closest battle is this Joker and Spoonie battle. Mr. Pickle, Brad, Smug and Sloth, 24 laps their tyres. Gap is below 6 seconds now. But of course we're on the penultimate lap. So surely Mr. Pickle, barring any accidents, will pick up a terrific victory here in the Netherlands. He starts the final lap of the race then. With Max in second, Brad in third and Syme in fourth. It's now raining. And that could cause some issues on this last lap. It's certainly raining. I mean, if we had another 5 laps, it might be a case of an intermediate gamble. But we are on the final lap. Spoonie still trying to get to Joker. Not giving up on it at all. We will keep an eye. Max is absolutely clawing back the time, but it's not going to be enough, I don't think. It's down to 3 seconds. But Mr. Pickle is coming to the last corner. And the Ferrari comes round into the straight for the final time. And Mr. Pickle wins at Zandvoort. Max well close to within 2 seconds, but has to settle for P2. Brad Mason will take P3. Syme will take P4 ahead of Smug, who has really struggled, and Sloth might get him on the line. Sloth goes for him on the line, but doesn't get him. Smug, P5 from Sloth in P6. Joker and Spoonie might have a race to the line as well, and they do, and Joker takes P7 ahead of Spoonie. Al Newt, is he going to let Swanton by? No, he is not. Al Newt takes P9 from Swanton in P10. Skippy takes P11. 50 Gent will take P12. And Easy Life will be our final finisher in P13. Incredible race. Sets us up ridiculously well for Suzuka next week. But we all thought that it would be Max, Brad, Syme and Swanton, the top 4 in the championship. Hands up who thought that none of those would win today. Mr. Pickle, there he is, driver of the day, wins the race for Ferrari in what has been a really torrid season for Ferrari. So there he is on the top step. Maxwell takes second. Brad Mason in third. Syme gets a bonus point for fastest lap, but finishes off the podium in fourth. Smug finishes P5. Great race for him after a first lap incident. Sloth, well, he'll be up in the steward's room, I think, but at the moment it's another win in the Pro-Ams and P6 overall. Joker P7, Spoonie P8, Al Newt P9 and Swanton P10. Ahead of Skippy, 50 Gent and Easy Life with your DNFs. Levi, didn't actually see what happened to him. Ninjas, who was crashed out in an incident with Sloth, and Senna in an incident with Mr. Pickle. So maybe both your winners, Mr. Pickle and Sloth, could find their victories torn up in the steward's room. We shall see. I will be back in about half an hour's time for Blobby Mondays at Canada. Do drop me a message if you want to get into that race as a reserve, as we have some reserve spaces. DRS the finale, Japan, Monday, 8 p.m. Do not miss it. I'll be back in half an hour with Blobby Mondays from Canada. Thank you very much for tuning in. As always, follow me on Kick. Good night.